Hello fellas, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, it's Sunday evening and this is the final reveal from a winter build of the Trumpeter 1/350 scale USS Alabama BB-60. Fellas, I've already toiled on this thing and then some. I go beyond what beyond is. But now she's about ready for the side cleaners come over and give her a good paint job. She's been at sea for too long. Believe you me, fellas, I've been in the Navy a long time. I know what salt water and the air and the elements can do to a freshly painted ship. You can take a brand new ship and keep it out there anywhere for 5 to 6 months out there and come back, especially in wartime. It looks like it's a bucket of rust. I've seen plenty of time that way. He has on 4 ships. My ships turned out the same way. So this is fixed 1942. USS Alabama BB-60. She's headed for Puget Sound, ready for a paint job and modernization and refit. And she's a dirty girl, but she's still a battleship. And she's all finished, folks. Did a couple sneak preview pictures on Facebook a little bit here on it, and got some great comments on it so far. I'm very delighted and happy. And so I got her done, and after the video I'll present what I'll be doing next on the bench. And I'll probably be digging out a few other things, and as of today guys, I'm officially retired, and so model building madness is going to start. And I got one hell of a stash pile that needs to be thinned out too. It'll take a long time to get that thing thinned out, that's for certain. Well, I'll do my Sunday's best. Okay guys, before we show the review of the USS Alabama, anybody that's got this kit in their stash, there's pros and cons about it. I don't like about it. Overall fit, kit went together like the way it was designed, a dream, with the exception of the mid-well deck, the O1 level, which was a tad too long. You had to clip the 4 corners of the center section to make it fit flush against the aft and fore sections of the deck, of the main well deck. And the other thing about this, folks, is the lack of the instructions. They leave lots for the desire and for the cost that you pay for this kit. You know, they run about $70 on up. And I imagine you get on eBay, probably get them a lot cheaper, but it's a good kit, fellas. It's about the only one type of the South Dakota class that's available in 1/350 scale. And Trumpeter did the best they could, what they could do with it. It's not a bad kit, guys. It's just a few things out that I noticed about those. I kind of disagree with it. It'll give you enough ladder ways for your ladder wells. And for the cost of the kit, they can at least throw in the photo-rich parts that can go with it. So anyway, folks, this thing's built straight out of the box. There's no photo etch, aftermarket parts, multimedia parts, such as resin and such. That was incorporated in this here model. I went and built it right out of the box. And so I'm not too much of a photo etch man anyway in the first place, because the way I learned, the way I was raised in building models. We didn't have back in those days, so I got along in years past without them, so why should I result to them now? And they do an excellent touch on models, folks. That's one thing. They really make it look realistic as possible. Okay, guys, enough that chatter right here. We're going to go over here and we'll take a look at the Trumpeter USS Alabama, and we'll swing the video over and take a look at it, guys. See what you think, and come back and finish up the video. There she is, right there on her starboard quarter. And as you can see, the immersion of salt water done to the water line, the red anti-fouling line. Above the freeboard is the boot topping. You can see a lot of rust that comes off on rough seas, flushes on the deck and washes over the side, and it causes that rust effect to take hold. And believe you me, well, during the event of war, there ain't no such thing as a spit and polished Navy like it was before World War II was declared. We usually keep our ships pretty well in good shape as we can, but underway, ship's colors during the war, you had to only take care as much as you can from the waterline on up. Anything else, fellas, has to go for yard duty when we pull in port. And we'll swing around and give her a little look around there, guys. That's the whole starboard section right there. And we'll zoom a little bit here, fellas, here and there on it. I made the baseboard for it, same thing as that as the USS Princeton I've done. I did save the stand right there. And she's pretty much stationary right there. Went in there, brushed this plate gold color, epoxy to the wood base that the big A is on. And you can see the saltwater effect done on this thing. I got about 70 hours in this thing already, fellas. And relatively she builds quick, but this thing had to be treated and painted subassembly wise. In other words, you can't build this model in its entirety and reach with a paintbrush, do this, do that. It's all been airbrushed, with the exception of the weathering. And there she is, fellas, in her entirety, as you can see. That's a good kit, fellas. I highly recommend you guys getting it. If you guys got one in your stash, you'll find a very simple kit to build. It's a lot of things can be done with this kit, such a dead right here. It just takes a little imagination. Right now she's in the dry dock mode. Right now featuring to get painted up and cleaned up and get ready for war, get it refitted again, because the United States Navy during the event of war are constantly coming up with better ideas to improve things, and they more or less had a lot of refits. So right here is a 1942 refit as she was launched, and right now she's going to get changed a little bit. They're going to probably change it to a measure 32 color, and they're going to go ahead and probably paint the decks a darker N1 deck blue, and also the camel's going to change, and probably got a lot of other parts of the ship. The outside appearance of the ship will be changed a lot too by enclosing one huge gun tub on the forecastle deck right here, fellas. So this section of deck here, what they did for the refit, they just made a whole complete gun tub right across here and raised it up. And when the event of World War II started, after the Empire of Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, we had to use everything that we had at the time, and the USS Alabama was being launched by then, and so they had to make these ships as much as they could, as fast as they could, to get them in the water. And so the only way they'll be able to learn and understand the problems with them is they got to be manned by the crews, so they can start lodging complaints about this and that needs to be done. And maybe you can see fit, well, it's a good design, this to be done, this done, so that's what they do that when they come into port. So anyway, fellas, this is a good kit here. I enjoy it. I'm glad it's over with, and I can start on something else. And so the Gulf Hawk is going to be next on the bench, and I'll throw some other things on there too. And we'll see how it goes along. Okay, fellas, that right here terminates video number 4, the final reveal from my USS Alabama by Trumpeter, 1/350 scale. And all in all, Trumpeter did a pretty good job designing this kit, though, but a lot of things they could have improved on, such as the treatment of the instructions. Could have gave you more ladder wells so you get extra ladder ways. And the cost of the kit, they could at least throw in your some brass fittings in there. So if you're going to pay $100 on up for a kit, you might as well throw in the photo etch parts with it. You know, that way you know dang well you got your money's worth. But they try to get every dime they can out of you, so that's why photo etch don't slow me down building these things. Okay, guys, we're going to take the camera, swing around yours truly, and finish up the video here. Ah, here he is, boys. Okay, man. So, this is going to be on the bench next. This is going to be my private little build right there. Just get away from shipbuilding for a little bit and hop on the ships. I'll probably do a couple shifts as I build this. This thing here is a very fast build, fellas. I built this thing 1,000,001 times. And virtually I can do it without no instructions. So many times I built this thing. So this will be an interesting little kit to build for a wonderful modeling community. And I might start on something else, fellas. I might start on another ship. I might be able to do this one here. The USS Titanic by Revell. I mean, yes, the RMS Titanic. I'm sorry, fellas. I apologize. Been on the Alabama too long. Anyway, this is the late great RMS Titanic in a scale of 1/700 by Revell in Germany, and it's an excellent kit, guys. I think it's a lot better than Academy. And overall appearance, scale-wise, it's pretty much right on. So I don't know what I'm going to do, fellas. I may just go ahead and build this Titanic right here, along with my Grumman Gulf Hawk. I'll start on my battleship California down there, my Tennessee, Shackleton, B-47. You never know. So anyway, the Gulf Hawk goes on the board, so I'll be starting that after this here video. And so I'll figure out something I'll bring out this for another ship model. And I'm having so much fun building these things. For display base, fellas, I probably mentioned it on my USS Princeton. Go to Hobby Lobby. I think you're around about $7 or $8 for a nice, beautiful board like this here. And I tell you one thing, fellas, it's the Hobby Lobby ain't nothing that place don't have. So, to the delight of its modelers, old Frankie Day highly recommends to go there for your modeling needs and pleasures. Okay, guys, this concludes the final reveal for the Trumpeter USS Alabama. And one day next week, probably Tuesday maybe, at the most, I'll have that date on my Grumman Gulf Hawk. And Bill will follow on that, and more videos will follow, and I'll probably open up another video with something else I'm going to start. Might do that tonight or tomorrow, but I don't know, being tired, you know, I got 1,000,000 things going like this happening all at once. I feel like a kid Christmas time, you know, and also reborn. Okay, guys, it's time to get out of here, fellas. I've been here too long on the final reveal, so it's time for you guys to enjoy yourselves and happy modeling and make Mama happy. And please subscribe. And this is Frankie Day signing us, so stay tuned to get updated on Grumman Gulf Hawk. I'll have it shortly, probably one day next week. So stay tuned for that. And this is the end of this. Bye, fellas. Take care, boys.